Once again, thank you for everyone for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're here for the MyFreeTaxes 2014. I'm going to go over a few quick webinar housekeeping tips. If you're listening to our webinar today, the audio for today's webinar is being broadcast through your computer. Make sure your speakers are turned on and your headphones are plugged in. You can control the audio broadcast via the audio broadcast panel, and if you accidentally close that panel, you can reopen it from the top menu, Communicate, Join Audio Broadcast. If you're listening via phone and your computer does not have sound capabilities, or you just prefer to listen by phone, you can dial in by the phone number 650-479-3207, or our toll-free number is 855-244-8681. The meeting code is 666-641-149. If you're not a presenter and you're just listening as an attendee, you do not need an attendee ID code. We are providing closed captioning. It is real time and it can be found in the media viewer, which appears in the lower right-hand corner of the webinar platform. If you want to make this media viewer panel larger, you can minimize other panels such as chat, Q&A, or participants. For submitting questions, which we'll take at the end of today's webinar, you can use the chat box or the Q&A to send any questions you might have during the webinar to myself, Katie Metz, as the host, and we will direct questions accordingly during the Q&A portion. If you're listening by phone and not logged into the webinar, you may also ask questions by emailing them directly to myself, kmetz@ndi-inc.org, kmetz@ndi-inc.org. Please note that today's webinar is being recorded and the materials will be placed on the NDI website. If you need technical assistance, please feel free to either use the chat box to send a message to the host, Katie Metz, or you can email me at kmetz@ndi-inc.org. With that, I'm going to turn it over to our Director of Strategy and Research, Dr. Jeanette Hartnett, for welcome and introduction. Jeanette?
Katie, and welcome everybody to this wonderful webinar. A special thank you to our sponsors, Walmart, Bank of America, Corda, Burton Blatt Institute, and IRS. The National Disability Institute is a research and development organization with the mission to promote income preservation and asset development for persons with disabilities and to build a better economic future for Americans with disabilities. NDI's Real Economic Impact Network, an alliance of organizations and individuals dedicated to advancing the economic empowerment for people with disabilities. 2 slides, next and next, Katie. And also NDI, one more slide here. One more. There we go. The NDI's Real Economic Impact Network includes nonprofits, community tax coalitions, and asset development organizations, financial education initiatives, corporations, and private sector businesses, federal, state, local governments and agencies, and individuals and families with disabilities. All partners join forces to embrace, promote, and pursue access to and inclusion of people with disabilities in the economic mainstream. Next. Carol May, Project Manager for the National Giving, Diversity and Inclusion, Hunger Relief, and Healthy Eating Workforce Development of the Walmart Foundation, sends her regards and was not able to get in today, but just really wants to wish us all the best in this coming season, which is the 6th year of MyFreeTaxes. And so for those of you that are on, if we can move next to next. And next. There we go. What is MyFreeTaxes? It's funded by the Walmart Foundation in cooperation with the National Disability Institute, United Way Worldwide, and Goodwill Industries International. The only tax filing software to provide free federal and state tax prep assistance for qualified individuals in all 50 states. Next. The partnership launched in 2009 to help millions of individuals and families in low to moderate income increase financial stability. The purpose is to increase awareness and access to EITC through free tax preparation options, combines traditional volunteer-assisted, the VITA, with innovative online self-tax preparation. The emphasis is on previously underserved populations, including individuals with disabilities. Next. The goals of MyFreeTaxes are to increase the number of taxpayers that file for free at a VITA site and total refunds returned to taxpayers through VITA, is to increase the number of taxpayers that file online and increase the amount of refunds returned to taxpayers with disabilities. Increase the amount saved in tax preparation fees for taxpayers utilizing MyFreeTaxes, VITA, and online services. Provide in-kind support to partners to increase MyFreeTaxes visibility and expand the number of people preparing their own taxes. Next. And as you can see, this is our outcomes, our outputs, and really outcomes over the past 5 years, which we're really, really proud of here. And I'm not going to read through those, but the online portion of our work began, I think, with several thousand returns, and this year was 86,000. So we're really, really happy. And in 2013, over 6 million returns were filed through this initiative. Next. And here we are, 2013 results, and 1.7 million taxpayers, resulting in $2.1 billion in tax refunds. And the EITC is over 600 million. And we had a 13% increase in the number of taxpayers served this year. Next. So to start with, you're going to hear today from all 3 partners and a number of our partners, United Way and Goodwill, and the different divisions within our groups that are actually working on the project, from communications and programs. And we're going to start with Katie Metz, who is the Manager of Financial Empowerment and Inclusion, and Jamie Robinson, Manager of Financial Empowerment Workforce, and Lee Davenport, who is consulting with us this year on the project, to talk about the program piece for MyFreeTaxes with the National Disability Institute.
Thank you, Jeanette. We want to talk to you first a little bit about expanding access to free tax preparation to persons with disabilities. We have several tools at NDI, tools and resources that we really think and know that is proven in the past will help individual tax coalitions as well as our partners through MyFreeTaxes to really outreach to persons with disabilities and ensure that accessibility and accommodations are made. We know that these tools enhance network and communication to engage partners and provide education and training with access to experts in the disability community. We provide tips for innovative ideas and education while fostering a movement of economic empowerment for all people, inclusive to individuals with disabilities and their families. If you follow the link, this PowerPoint will be available early next week on our website, and you'll be able to follow this exact link to our toolkit online, or go to www.realeconomicimpact.org to be able to go in and look at the different tools that we have available. An example of some of these tools is disability awareness training provided by volunteers and site coordinators. We have that available in both a PowerPoint as well as an online course that's free. We have a kit for getting started with social media and disability outreach flyers. We have information on tax access, which is a partnership we have with the Southeast ADA Center to have questions answered by experts in the field when it comes to access and accommodations. Webinars such as today, effective strategies, and tools such as the disability question, why it's important to ask that question, and quick reference cards that can be used at computers and VITA sites. A variety of other tools. This is just a small sample. As I talked about earlier, we have our disability awareness training. This really gives tools and resources for our individual coalitions and different partners in the field to be able to have a course where an individual can log in on their own pace and go online and really learn more about disability awareness to ensure that we're doing outreach to the disability community. Tax Access, once again, we started this program in 2011. It's a partnership with the Southeast ADA Center and is a forum for a safe zone for questions that can be answered via email communication or through phone line where disability accessibility experts are available. With that, I am going to turn it over to my colleague, Jamie Robinson, who's going to talk more about integrating MyFreeTaxes through the National Disabilities Initiative in public workforce system. Jamie?
Great, thanks, Katie. Good afternoon, everyone. So just a little bit about the public workforce system. Every year, over 20 million individuals tap into America's Job Center Network, or AJC Network, and we have a link there for you to check that out. The names for workforce centers do vary from state to state and even town to town. So, you may know of yours as a one-stop or career center, or maybe a more specific name associated with your town or state. And U.S. Department of Labor is kind of taking steps towards establishing a more unified brand to make it easier for workers and businesses to find and use the services of the workforce system. So that's kind of where that AJC network comes from. But American Job Centers offer a number of employment services. They help with unemployment claims, determining eligibility for job training, education, financial aid. They offer a wide variety of job search tools and placement assistance, career counseling, up-to-date labor market information to help identify job vacancies and those skills that are necessary for in-demand jobs. And they also serve employers as a customer, and they provide that kind of single point of contact to list job openings and provide information about current and future skills needed. So why partner with this network? Well, they serve a diverse, very diverse customer base, many of whom are unemployed or struggling to stay kind of within that low to moderate income range once they do become employed. There are a range of co-located partners within each American Job Center that target underserved or underemployed groups who can definitely benefit from free tax services and programs that serve veterans, ex-offenders, at-risk youth, TANF recipients, and also individuals with disabilities. And we know that for some of the AJCs that are actually already integrating these services into their service delivery model are reporting that participants have a better set of tools to find work. They're obtaining benefits that are helping them to build sturdier financial futures. And then they have a higher likelihood of completing a skills program or staying on a job longer. So these models really represent workforce centers that we'd like to see more of, that are not known in the community just for employment, but also kind of for being a hub of financial and asset building resources and partners, so that that message becomes employment as that first step towards economic stability. I also just want to share some information about an important initiative that is being implemented across 26 states now, and how MyFreeTaxes is joining forces with it. Department of Labor's Disability Employment Initiative, or as we call it, the DEI, is the first national initiative to incorporate asset development as one of the major strategic components to enhance economic self-sufficiency for individuals with disabilities. Some of you out there may be familiar with the Disability Program Navigator Initiative, in which staff was hired as navigators across almost every single state had navigators a while back to basically focus on ensuring equal access to employment and training programs. So the DEI builds off of this work and this initiative, and we now have disability resource coordinators who are also employed to increase access, as well as integrate now asset development. So as a result, these DRCs are natural partners to MyFreeTaxes, to VITA, other tax and asset development or financial literacy partners. And with that, Katie, I think I'll turn it back to you to talk about the veterans expansion.
Great, thanks, Jamie. So we know that Department of Veteran Affairs reports that 22.5 million veterans and more than 37 million veterans, dependents, or survivors are eligible for veteran benefits. We also know that the statistics that we are seeing within the veteran community, such as 1 in 5 veterans living in a household that is receiving low-income home energy assistance program, there's 1.5 million veterans that are at risk for homelessness. And in 2009, the median income of a veteran was $35,000, qualifying them for MyFreeTaxes. All of these statistics underscore the true need for financial capability strategies for veterans and their families who are entitled to and in need of the resources to maintain and build financially secure futures. With that, we really wanted to expand our initiative, seeing many of the synergies that there were between the veteran community and many of the individuals that we were serving, to reach out and provide MyFreeTaxes to the veteran initiative. We are working with the workforce and our veteran communities through several different program models. In the 2014 tax season, NDI will support a minimum of 22 American Job Centers and 10 veteran organizations to integrate MyFreeTaxes through one of 3 ways. We'll do that through the tax coach model, in which an IRS certified tax coach will work with select AJCs and veteran regions during tax time. We'll also have what we call the integrated model, in which American Job Centers are assisted with integrating MyFreeTaxes through the workforce delivery system. And then finally, we have what is called our network model, in which American Job Centers and veteran organizations will have access to our partner portal, which includes training, online resources, technical assistance, registration for a custom URL, marketing, and we'll really be able to provide them with tools and resources to support them in promoting MyFreeTaxes through their communities and initiatives. You'll have our contact information when this PowerPoint is made available on our website through www.realeconomicimpact.org, along with a recording of today's information. So if you have any questions regarding the Workforce Initiative or the Veteran Initiative, we welcome you to contact Jamie or myself. With that, I am going to turn it over to our colleague, Lee Davenport, who will speak regarding our state model. Lee?
Thanks, Katie. So hi, everybody. I'm just going to talk really briefly about the state and regional models. The work at MyFreeTaxes for a long time has been really centered on both developing the national leadership models, those models with which the big partners, United Way and Goodwill, can really encourage and, I guess, incentivize the participation of local partners. And this has just done really great work. And what's happened as a result of this is that a lot of local partners have joined. Last year, I think something like 700 or 800 total campaign partners participated. We had a few states and large regions that joined forces with each other to collapse or collaborate, really, to draw some of the best that we could out of combined efforts. I'll be looking this year at some of those combined efforts to see if there are lessons that can be taken from those groups, model practices that can be shared across the network. And just to show an example, last year, for the first significant year, the state of Delaware created through a partnership with the state offices, through Goodwill Delaware, the United Way of Delaware, and several large employers and community colleges. They created a campaign called Stand By Me, or a website that can be found at myfreetaxesde.com. They went from around 100 returns in 2012 to just over 2,000 returns that flowed through that link statewide. Now, again, for scope, there are 4 counties in Delaware. It is the 44th largest state in the United States. Those 2,000 taxpayers and the 2,700 taxpayers that came to MyFreeTaxes from the state of Delaware represent about 1 or 2% of all taxpayers in the state. That's a larger number of all taxpayers that are income eligible. If we were to hit 1% of all taxpayers in the nation, this would put our number, rather than 85,000 total returns, we'd be closer to 1.3 million returns. And so just to give you some scale of what 2,000 taxpayers looks like in Delaware. It's really significant. The goal for our exploration this year in Delaware, Utah, a couple other places we're still working out, is how can we reach taxpayers through the creation of truly meaningful, sustainable collaborations. We'll be working very closely with these leadership organizations at the state level to identify new network partners in the nonprofits, committed employers, low-wage employers. Each of you has low-wage employers in your state that employ thousands and thousands of people who can be communicated with. We'll be looking at educational institutions like trade schools, community colleges, and the IRS has been very helpful and supportive of those relationships, and as well the state departments of revenue and taxation. There are these super collaborations are really some of the best that we think we've seen so far, and we're going to spend a lot of time coaching these organizations through a successful campaign year and really digging into the things that made it successful. When I think about all the work that can be done at this level to help reach taxpayers who are already very interested in filing their own taxes online, the ease of which we can convert them from one product to another as opposed to one service, like paid brick and mortar, to online tax preparation, we feel like there's a lot of growth that can happen in this sector. What the other goal of the project is, the other objective of the project is to document all these findings in a postseason report that we'll make available to other groups. Of course, I think it'd be probably wise if we did some seminars or conference calls and really work to see if we can develop these larger partnerships from the handful of places we're exploring. I would list them now, but we're still working out the details on some of these. I think, again, it's going to be one of those more successful things that we can pull off if we can do it this well this year. And so you can find me on the next slide. It'll be my contact information if you want to learn more about the project or from me. And thanks so much, Katie. I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Lee and Katie and Jamie. Next, we'd like to hear from our Goodwill Industries International partners, Cammie Simons, Director of Family Financial Stability, and Carter Elliott, Manager of Financial Wellness.
Thank you. This is Cammie. Hi, this is Cammie. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. First of all, thanks to Johnette and the rest of her team and our colleagues at United Way for putting this webinar on. We're very excited to be talking with all of you today and to be a part of the project. Next slide, please. Katie, could you advance the slides? There we go. Great. Thank you. So I'm pretty sure that most of you have been to a Goodwill at one point or another. And most folks know Goodwill as the place that they take their stuff. But we really are much more than just a store. Goodwill sells donated goods and other household items in our nearly 2,800 stores and at our auction site, shopgoodwill.com. And when you make those donations, you're actually playing a vital role in helping Goodwill to fulfill on its mission of helping people go to work. Next slide, please. Thank you. So Goodwill is deploying strategies at nearly 165 independent community-based organizations across the U.S. and in Canada. And each one of those Goodwills is its own independent 501c3 with its own board and its own community base. And what that means is that they are locally responding to the needs of their communities in a wide variety of ways. Next slide, please. So through this rather unique distribution channel, we're working primarily towards skills attainment and helping Goodwills and their customers leverage workforce development services so that more people are gaining skills and earning jobs. In addition to this, we have a very large initiative to begin at home, and by that what we mean is committing to improve the financial strength of our nearly 115,000 employees. We are also doing this by equipping people to maximize their earnings through programs like MyFreeTaxes. Goodwill has also been very involved in veterans and military services, helping families transition into civilian employment, and we've been doing this for nearly 2 decades. We also are working with youth to prepare them for the global economy and dedicating our mentoring and building career awareness for our young families. We're also involved in virtual career services. This has been a new area for us that has expanded quite a bit, not only to social media, but to actually providing mentoring and other volunteer services virtually. We also are dedicating services to help women and older workers across the nation. At any given time, we have about $100 million coming into Goodwill in grants, and 85% of those grants are going back out the door to support the efforts of local Goodwills. And we see MyFreeTaxes as one of the ways that we can truly make a difference in impacting people's lives. Next slide, please. I'm going to turn things over to Carter Elliott, who has most recently joined the Goodwill team as our project manager, and I'm sure many of you will get to know Carter over the next year, certainly the next tax season, as he is working to advance our program in support with our national partners. Carter?
Thanks, Cammie. Again, my name is Carter Elliott, and I am the Program Manager for Financial Wellness, and I have been here for all of a week and a half. I just moved up from Atlanta, and just want to say I'm really happy to be here and excited to work with everybody on this initiative. As Cammie mentioned, there are 165 local independent Goodwills, and what they like to say up here is if you've seen one Goodwill, you've seen one Goodwill. And as a result of that, when it comes to the VITA or the Free Tax Prep program, all Goodwills, they're going to be all different levels of engagement when it comes to the Free Tax Prep. There are going to be some Goodwill partner that partner with the local VITA coalitions to promote and educate their employees, their clients, their shoppers, their donors about the options that are available in their community. There are going to be some Goodwills that are going to actually be VITA sites, and so they will partner with the local VITA coalition to offer VITA services, free tax prep services. There may be some Goodwills that offer MyFreeTaxes, only MyFreeTaxes. There may be some VITA or some Goodwills that offer a combination of those. So just want to say that you know, Goodwill International as a whole will outreach to, we have over 110,000 employees, so we will be reaching out to all of our employees and having our local Goodwills promote to their clients, to their employees, to their business partners, business and service partners in their local communities. So I just want to say we're here to help, and if you are in a community and you're not sure if your Goodwill is engaged, definitely contact me. My contact information is on the next slide, and just let me know, and then I can connect you with your local Goodwill to get them engaged with your program. So thank you very much, Jeanette.
Thank you, Carter and Cammie, and Carter, we're all very, very excited to have you as part of this wonderful work. Next, we will hear from United Way Worldwide, Stephanie Chin, Manager of Income Capacity Building.
Thanks, Johnette. Hi, everybody. I see a lot of familiar names in the attendee list, so it's good to kind of see you all. I'm going to walk you through the United Way Worldwide perspective. I also wanted to quickly answer a question that I saw pop up on Q&A. Carolyn, the software that is used on MyFreeTaxes.com is the H&R Block software that they provide to us as an in-kind gift, and I'll also be talking more about the support to partners. So to talk about the United Way investment and interaction with MyFreeTaxes, about 150 United Ways participated in MyFreeTaxes last year, and we really have seen in the past in the history of free tax preparation, a lot of United Ways have taken leadership positions along with their partners in their VITA coalitions, and they're continuing to do so with MyFreeTaxes.com. Our interest is increasing the capacity of local United Ways and their partners to provide volunteer-assisted free tax preparation work, as well as helping individuals file their taxes for free on MyFreeTaxes.com. We also are focused on helping provide customer support through the MyFreeTaxes helpline, which is staffed by 211 professionals, and they provide phone, email, and chat services that a person can call into throughout the tax season. In addition, we are offering print-on-demand customized marketing materials that are created by the MyFreeTaxes partners. And through that method, we heard loud and clear last year that more customizable materials are definitely desired in the network, and we are going to provide that this year. So that there will be a way for you all to add your custom URLs and to add local information into the marketing materials that we provide in order to help you guys raise awareness of the services you provide as well. To speak a little bit about the MyFreeTaxes user support, here is the number that users can call. It's the same as last year, 855-MyTX-HELP. We are aware that there's an extra letter on there, and it's not necessary. It's just in order to help people remember what the number is. There are also the digits that are associated with it, 1-855-698-9435. And all clients using MyFreeTaxes.com will be able to access MyFreeTaxes helpline, as will partners who are helping clients complete their tax returns at FSA sites. We'd like to announce that this year we are expanding our hours. We saw a higher demand and interest in longer hours, and so we're offering those longer hours, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time during the tax season from Monday through Saturday, and we're also working to see if we can get some Sunday coverage. The helpline is, again, as I said before, is staffed by select 211 centers and VITA certified volunteers. There is support that is available in Spanish. We do have helpline specialists who are Spanish speaking. They will also be certified at the VITA level of advanced, so that they can provide the best customer service they can. Email support is available 24/7 during tax season with a 24-hour response time, and chat is also available. So those helpline support staff will be able to help users navigate the system as well as with the preparation of their taxes and forms. And will very often recommend or refer to wraparound services if the client has additional needs, because we recognize we're serving the whole client. My contact information is on this page. You are free to contact me, and I will now turn it back to NDI.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. And next we'd like to move on to our great communications and marketing teams, and these are across the 3 partnerships, and I'm going to just tell you who's going to be speaking, and then I'm going to let them begin. But Lisa Stockman-Karp, who is Director of Communications from NDI, Lauren Lawson-Zeli, Director of Public Relations, Goodwill Industries International, Rachel Morales, Manager Marketing and Brand Development, Goodwill Industries International, and Adam Stitska, Director Mobile and Digital Strategies, Goodwill International. Welcome.
Thank you. And if you could advance to the next slide, please. Okay. Greetings, everyone. This is Lauren Lawson-Zeli from Goodwill Industries International, and I will be presenting on behalf of our communications team first. According to the U.S. Census, there are millions of people eligible for free tax filing services that either don't take advantage of it or where they qualify for it. So this year, our goals in the communication strategy are to increase the number of online filers by 60% each year of the grant, transition on-the-ground filers to online filers and increase that number, and expand the use of tools within the EITC claim. In addition, we want to reach those audiences that are eligible but may not be aware of the service, including college students, recent graduates, people with disabilities, and those whose first language is not English. Part of the strategy will include growing engagement of mobile phone users to the MyFreeTaxes platform and increasing awareness of MyFreeTaxes.com as an online tax filing destination and, of course, a trusted site. So how will we succeed? Our communications team works cross-functionally and is comprised of communications team members from the 3 national partners, United Way Worldwide, National Disability Institute, and Goodwill Industries International. We meet on a weekly basis and use a SharePoint site to collaborate on tools, materials, and resources. We plan to utilize high-return digital channels and recruit impact spokespeople this year. Many of you may remember that Michelle Singletary, personal finance columnist for the Washington Post, as well as a representative from the IRS were spokespeople last year. We'll be looking to them as well as other high-visibility type spokespeople. And this year, we also plan to maximize partnerships, both grassroots and with media. Next slide, please.
With regard to our online and how we plan to increase online filers this year, we had mentioned that we were going to reinvest in some high-return digital opportunities that we had used last year. Primarily, we will be reusing our ability to raise awareness about MyFreeTaxes to online filers directly through Google AdWords, but in addition, we will be providing advertisements and placing advertisements on social media channels, including Facebook and Twitter. We will actively be encouraging all participants in the MyFreeTaxes program to use their organic social media channels, meaning the social media channels that you would normally use to talk about your programs and services. In this effort, we will be providing you pre-written content to help you, communicate effectively about the MyFreeTaxes program, and we encourage you to integrate that into your editorial calendars. In addition, we will be hosting a variety of bloggers on the MyFreeTaxes website, which should help us increase our SEO traffic. In addition, we will be providing web banners, key messages, and multimedia news releases, all with the intent of helping to raise awareness about the MyFreeTaxes brand and drive online filing. Next slide.
Hi folks, this is Rachel Morales from the GII team. And I'm sorry, Lisa, I jumped in ahead of you, so Lisa will present actually the next few slides.
actually, I think our slides got reversed. Okay, this is Lauren. Sorry, everyone. To provide an overview of the success from last year, our media coverage included more than 430 print and online placements, reaching more than 126 million people, and more than 60 broadcast placements, reaching more than 338,000 viewers. Each of our radio tours consecutively reached 18 stations that were syndicated, each reaching more than 11 million listeners. In addition, we disseminated a number of press releases last year, but the most successful one was sent prior to Tax Day and was titled Top 5 Things to Remember Before Tax Day. That release earned coverage in the Associated Press, Business Week, Investor Place, and a number of outlets. Building on the foundation from our 2013 PR and media outreach, our campaign this year will create awareness opportunities for filing MyFreeTaxes, both in person and virtually, covering all 50 states and the District of Columbia. We'll be focusing on local and national media outreach, a national multimedia news release that will include links and videos. We're investigating a potential media partnership, and we'll also be launching 2 radio tours that will discuss the importance of the EITC and free tax preparation. In addition, we're working on a blogger tour that will include on-camera interviews similar to a Skype-type format. Last year we had a Q&A with bloggers where they would send questions and we would send answers back to them. But this year's blogger tour will make for a more visually appealing interview process. In addition, we'll be reaching out to bloggers, as Adam touched on briefly, who specifically cover finance. And in fact, our NDI and GII teams recently traveled to the FineKind conference in St. Louis, where they met with more than 500 financial bloggers, including Gene Chadsky. Next slide.
Okay, and this is Rachel again. So we will be focusing on a few key efforts this year for this tax filing season. As Adam and Lauren have mentioned earlier, we have a wealth of materials both in digital assets, PR and social media, as well as print collateral that we developed in 2012, and we'll be continuing to build upon those for this year. Some key things we'll focus on are expanding outreach with our messaging to the non-English speaking population. So all of the materials that we create will be available not only in English but also in Spanish. Additionally, we will be targeting the college age or young adult audience. And all of the materials will be available. We're targeting for the beginning of December of this year. An overview of some of the materials to be on the lookout for our partners include flyers that are general as well as customizable for their particular location, posters, fact sheets, and brochures specifically geared towards the tax filer. There will also be a set of material that are geared towards community referral partners in all 50 states throughout the U.S. Again, as Adam had mentioned, we will also be expanding upon our digital marketing assets, and again with specific outreach to the young adult audiences. Next slide, please. And I'll turn this over to Lisa Stockman-Karp.
Hello, everybody, and excited to be with you today. I'm here to talk about some of the communications initiatives we're going to have around increasing taxpayers with disabilities and engaging in this work. And everybody on this call, since we started this work many years ago together, you are all so critical and wonderful for embracing and continuing to outreach to taxpayers with disabilities in your community and helping to more than double the number of people with disabilities filing taxes through free tax prep since we began this work together. So thank you for that. And to continue to build on that momentum and the incredible work we've all done together, we are going to continue specific outreach to taxpayers with disabilities. This past year, we built upon our radio reading service for the blind initiative that delivered PSAs to stations across the country. We had more than 35 stations engage with us last year, and we reached more than 143 million people with disabilities through the spots we created. We are doubling that initiative this year and creating 10 30-second spots to air with the radio reading services for the blind across the country, and hoping to continue to drive that number of stations engaging with us up. We also will create flyers with messaging specific for taxpayers with disabilities that can be used by anybody in the MyFreeTaxes network that will help talk about some myths that people encounter if they are a person with a disability, perhaps on federally funded public benefits, just addressing some of the myths around tax filing and, as it relates to benefits and work and other issues. We will also be creating outreach materials specific for America's job centers and the veteran population to support those initiatives, as well as continuing to pitch our MyFreeTaxes work to disability publications and outlets, organizations, and blogs such as disability.gov and a bunch of other groups who have been so supportive of us in the past. We will also be creating social media messaging targeting people with disabilities, veterans, and workforce for use nationally and locally. Now I'd like to turn, if you want to reach any of us, here is the information to reach any of the communications presenters today, myself, Lauren Lawson-Zeli, Rachel Morales, and Adam Siska. We look forward to engaging with you this year for MyFreeTaxes. Thank you very much. Katie?
Yes. So we have several questions in the queue. I've unmuted all our presenters, so jump in at any time if you feel answering them. And if we do not, we have about 5 minutes left. If we don't get to everyone's questions, please do reach out to any of my colleagues here from United Way, Goodwill, or NDI, and we will ensure that we follow up. You have my email as well through the invite, and I'll make sure we direct those questions if we do not get to them all today. So, Stephanie, there is a question regarding, are the helpline staff people trained on state income tax at all, or just federal VITA?
Hi, this is Lisa answering from United Way Worldwide. California and Florida will be taking state-specific calls, but all of the agents, including them, are going to be VITA certified for federal.
Great. Thank you. We also had several questions regarding URLs. So one individual asked, how can you personalize your URL, and who can you contact to get a URL? Goodwill or United Way?
Yeah, sure. This is Adam from GII, and I can answer that. URLs will be the formal tool to acquire and obtain your vanity URL is going to be available on December 3rd, and we're going to be putting out more communications in terms of how you actually go in and update that information or obtain a new URL. But there will be an online form that you complete, and from there you will be able to automatically have access to that URL and begin putting it into your advertising and local promotions. If the URL has already been used, there will be immediate feedback on the form specifying that that vanity URL has already been booked. If you have any further questions about this, because I know that there'll be a lot of questions about URLs and how that process will be managed, I encourage you to email me at adam.stiska@goodwill.org. And again, my contact information is in the presentation.
Thank you, Adam. We also have another question. When will the MyFreeTaxes site be updated to include new promotional materials, and how can you download or print those marketing materials?
Sure. This is Adam again. The MyFreeTaxes website has a go-live date with the refreshed version of January 6th. That is currently what we're shooting for. There will be some enhancements to the front page of the website, including some additional content tweaks to it. In addition, the website was going to be enhanced from an accessibility and from a mobile-friendly standpoint. And to the second question about when the materials will be available, there is a print-on-demand solution that is currently being implemented through United Way, and so I'm sort of speaking on behalf of them. But that is also set to be ready for December 3rd as well. And the idea behind that system is that you will be able to place a certain amount of preset quantities of collateral that you can customize online and have shipped to you. Again, more information will be coming out about that, but the key date to keep in mind is that December 3rd date.
Okay. We're going to take one more question, and then, like I said, if you have any questions, I know we had several in the Q&A box that we weren't able to get to today. Please follow up. All of our contact information will be available in today's PowerPoint, which will be available on our website early next week. And if you want your questions answered even sooner, you're welcome to email me at kmetz@ndi-inc.org, the same email provided for troubleshooting, and I will make sure we direct the questions to our partners accordingly. So a couple people have asked, what is the income this year limit, and that is $58,000 or less. And then individuals want to know, are you able to file back taxes?
The answer to that question is no, not at this time.
Great. Thank you, Stephanie. With that, I am going to turn it back over to Jeanette to wrap us up. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, and thank you, Goodwill and United Way, and for all the partnership and the work that we have ahead of us this year. I know someone had asked about how they could access this information. And Katie, I believe it is going to be posted on, is it YouTube? And on our website?
Yes, it'll be on our website early next week.
Okay. So I just want to thank everybody, and thank you for coming on today.